Like, yeah, we got the vaccine. We out here.
And they ain't even getting the vaccine like that.
Really?
Right.
Shoot, my daggone aunt, boy, she making it a whole issue.
Let me try to see if it's popping up live. Hello, hello. I don't know who's on. Say, okay, guys. Give me 1 second because can you guys see
What
somebody
up,
on?
y'all?
Okay, for those that are on, did you guys click into the link that I sent that gives us permission to be able to actually see you guys when your name, your profile when you comment?
Is people in there already? I can't even. I ain't even pull it up yet.
Yeah, I see about three. I want to because I want you guys to say hello, hey, something, so we know who's on. But you have to give us permission through the link that I sent for the actual group for us to see you. Let me see if I can find it in the.
Okay, here we go. Let me
Okay,
go
I
ahead
see
and put this
somebody.
on my.
Miss Marla is on. Hello, she's
Yeah,
watching. Miss
she
Marla.
accepted the. Uh-oh.
Okay.
Accepted the permission
Yeah,
earlier, so I know it's her.
there you go.
Miss Terry is on.
Okay, hey Terry, good. I'm seeing your comment. Good, good. For the rest that are
What's
on
up,
here,
folks?
guys, let me.
Hello from Virginia. My sister lives
Where
in
Okay, guys.
Virginia.
Virginia?
So I posted it. It should
Marla?
be coming through. I posted it in the comment section for those that are on. If you can click that link that I just posted, it gives you permission for us permission to see when you guys comment. So I need that so I can, so you won't be commenting to a block a wall.
I mean, I
And
can see the comments, but I'm not seeing it on here. I'm seeing it on the,
yeah,
my
yeah.
second screen.
And then Marlon, let me send this link because I want to put you on the screen and do a test run, like I said earlier. So it'll be the
What
same
part of
link that
Virginia you in, Marla?
I'm finna pull her on the screen so she'll be able to tell you.
Okay. Hey, Marla. Marla with the old school name. She
Hey
got
guys,
an old school
one
name.
second. If you haven't clicked that link, the one that says BeLive.tv group comments, please click that link and give us access to you guys. Give
That
us.
way.
So Marla, the one that I just posted that says 7468 guest, see if you can click into that link and see if it'll allow us to put it on the screen.
Oh Lord.
And while she's doing that, guys, hopefully you got your notepad, you got your pen, your drink.
Yes, sir.
This is a 2 hour event. I don't know if you guys will stay on for the full 2 hours, but please, I want you guys write down what we're saying. I want you guys on the screen because I do want to kind of see your face, and then I want to see your face too.
That
So
part.
hopefully, any questions that you guys have, just type in the comment like, "Hey, I have a question." Boom. Then I'll send the link again so we can pull you on the screen to actually ask your question. So I want to kind of get a little bit more interaction. This is what I normally do it on my other page when it's public.
All right, Tabasha, you breathing heavy, girl.
Yeah. Marlon,
Hello.
you having a hard time getting into that link?
You still here?
Hey, nah, you better. It's better. Thank
Anybody
you.
else that's on, say hi, please. I want to know who's all on.
Yeah, don't be jumping in just to be a creep ball. Say something. Say hello.
It's only a limited amount of us, so only those who pay they will be on, so you don't have to be scared.
So I see 5, and I only see 2 have spoken.
Yeah.
I know one of them is me, so
No,
just
it
be
don't
aware.
show.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So hey,
I was
you want me to type a comment in there too?
I wonder if I type a comment, can you see it?
I ain't even gonna do that.
I better type. I want to see.
Uh oh, we done lost. We
so
done
the four,
lost.
so the four that's watching is them two, and then me and you.
Hey, look, they're coming as they. I mean, they paid, so it
Yeah,
makes
no,
sense
no,
for them
and
to
that's
show
fine.
up
I just want to I want to see who's here before we get started.
that
Like
way.
I said, it is 2 hours, so if they hop on and out, we still gonna go with the flow.
That part. We got a
'Cause we
performance.
do good with each other. Just the three of us talking to each other, we good.
The show must go on.
Hey, I don't know. It says Facebook user. I don't know who that is.
That's me.
Oh,
Because I
that's you.
didn't get.
Okay.
So if they don't get permission, that's what it looked like.
Oh, okay.
It won't get a name.
Yeah, so I think so. Marla, the link is in the comment section. The one that says /guest.
Yeah, it's like right above your LOL comment, Marla.
Or either Terry. Okay, never mind. I was going to say, or either Terry, you can do it. Yes.
Hey, Marla.
Hey. Right above your LOL. Okay. So Terry. Or either Terry. Okay, never mind. I was going to say, or either Terry, do it.
Oh, wow. The
Somebody
echo is ridiculous.
Who's saying something else? I'm hearing the echo. I'm not.
That's Marla's phone.
That's Marla, yeah.
She don't have headphones on.
Okay, never mind. I was going to say, or either Terry, do it.
Oh, wow.
Somebody.
She done joined the Hollywood Squares.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us now?
No.
Can you hear?
Uh-oh.
Can you all hear me?
There you go.
Okay, good. So you're on. So, and I did make a post again. I don't know who I saw it, but for anybody that's want to hop on here, if you got a question for the guest, I would love the interaction. So I would love for you guys to click that link that you just clicked, and then it pulls you on our screen, so then you can ask us, whatever the questions is. So that's, that works fine. I just want to check that out. Make sure you have headphones, obviously, so we don't have like a feedback going on. But yeah, Terry, are you still on? So that's I'm going to go ahead and remove you. So that's how you do it. If you ever want to say something, just write in the comment like, "Hey guys, I got a question," and then boom.
Make sure you got headphones because that echo is ridiculous.
Yeah. So I could you could just go back and find that link, or I could try to click and resend you in, all of that. So
that way.
All right. Okay. So I guess should I wait a minute, guys, or just go?
I mean, it's been about 10 minutes so far, almost 10 minutes. So,
okay,
okay
Terry. So, did you hear the
late.
instructions? Yeah. So, did you hear the instructions? If you have a question, just say, "Hey, I got a question," and I'll just say, "Okay, good. Go hit the link that says 7468/guest. Just hit that link, and then we'll pull you on the screen, and then you can ask either one of us whatever questions you have, because I want us all to start seeing each other face as we're talking and asking the question. So yeah, so that's
can they drop a question? Like, say they don't want to get on the video, can they drop a question in the comment section?
If you want to just drop the comments in the without getting on, you can do that. It'll be the same as my other group. I'll put it on the screen, but I would love for you guys' space to be shown. That's kind of what it's easier to do it within a group versus what I do on my regular page, because I don't want too many interference of trying to pull everybody on the screens.
Right.
So this is more private, so that's why I kind of want everybody on the screen, if you could get on the screen. So that's that.
Shout to Newport News. Marla says she's from Newport News. So
I was just gonna say, she said Newport News.
Yeah. Okay. That's what's up.
All right, so hopefully you got your notebook, pads, pens, all of that. We finna go ahead and get drink. So we finna go ahead and get started. As people hop in later, I know it's a good day. Most people probably out. As they hop in, then I'll just repeat what I just said. Okay,
they should be coming back in to get ready for the night. It's Saturday evening is when it's really get crazy. So
Terry said
everybody should be
on the screen.
On their way back in the house.
That's fine. So let's go on and get started. To my guests, starting with Tabasha. Go ahead and give everybody an introduction.
Hey, what's up? My name is Tabasha. On social media is Tabasha Belt Holloman. I am your connection coach. I'm a certified life coach, relationship coach, motivational speaker, sexual reproductive health educator, traveling notary for the state of Illinois, positive community advocate. I love love. I love people. Hashtag purpose pusher. Hashtag the connect. You can find me on Instagram at I am changing 2020, or you can find me on my website at www.iamchanginglifecoachservice.com.
Booyah.
All right. Next up.
Uh, if you don't know now, you know. Hey, everybody, my name is Muhammed, aka Frederick P. Douglas, aka Misguided 89 on Instagram. I'm just a working stiff. I have a record label, 9-4 Music Group, that I'm slowly trying to build into something more. So 9-4 is the sound. I'm just a guy here, just trying to lend my manly expertise, if you will. you know,
Appreciate
just like she said, love her life, love her love. I'm a big proponent of relationships and healthy relationships. Anyway, I'm just ready to get it popping. Let's do this.
guys, and then their links are in the caption of this video. This video is not shareable, but you can always come back to the group and watch it, later, dissect it at any time, and could reconnect with them because it's in the caption of the video. Going on to the next, somebody, I don't know who just came on, but for those, so whoever that was that just popped in, if you can click the link in the comment that says /group comments, click that link so we can have permissions to be able to see you when you comment. So either one of you guys to start it off, just give us your definition of what femininity is.
I'll
I
let the
go.
gentleman go first.
Oh well. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. That's a first. Usually it's ladies first, right?
But,
So
so okay, whoever just said, I don't. Well, that was you, right, Tabasha? Somebody just said, "Hey, y'all."
that's
Um,
Bianca.
Yeah. So if you don't click the link, you got to say who your name is because it just says Facebook user. That's cool.
so whoever just said, "Hey, y'all," if you can click the link in the comment section that says /comments, um,
I can see it.
you gotta
It
give us.
says Bianca on it.
Do it. It don't say Bianca for me.
It's
Okay.
Bianca on Facebook. It's not on the app.
Yeah, on the app it ain't. It's probably just gonna say.
Okay.
But
All right.
yeah.
So yeah, if you got time, Bianca, I know you're out of town, having fun. Happy birthday.
Hey, B
Lit.
cup, B cups.
Yeah, if you have /group comment link so we can see your actual profile, that'll be wonderful. But yeah,
Awesome.
go ahead with the definition, guys.
Yeah, so in my personal opinion, femininity as well as masculinity is basically energy. It's energy that you exude as a person. So whatever energy you have inside of you, whether it be feminine or masculine, you exude that energy. And I believe that there has to be a balance. So masculinity has to balance with femininity as well as vice versa. You know, women in my humblest of opinion, I believe that if you were born a woman, you automatically have more feminine energy in you than masculine. Now, what you do throughout your years and you grow up to determine how much of that energy you keep and how much of that energy you let go and take on more masculine. But you have to have a balance. So whether it be 80-20 masculine, feminine, 20-80, it all depends on you as a person. But that's just my definition, if you will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm an actual words person, so I actually go and look for the actual definition. So, given the definition according to Google, it is also called womanliness and girlishness. It is a set of attributes, behaviors, and roles generally associated with the woman and girls. It is distinct from the definition of the biological female sex, as both male and female can exhibit. So that's what I'm gonna take it as.
For me,
Okay.
it's really short.
I'm gonna touch on that a little bit later.
For me, I look when I look at femininity, I look at a girly, like you say, I look at girly, I look at womanly, I look at and this is not to confuse it with the shape. I just look at the characteristic overall. It's girly, it's womanly, it's soft. It's not hard, it's not intrusive. It's real calm, it's humbling. So that's how I kind of see that femininity definition.
Right.
So so you want to touch on what she just said now, or just keep it
Well,
moving?
yeah, I mean, just when she said that the definition itself, it says attributes, behaviors, and roles, right? So, uh, my question is, what do you feel like is a feminine role, and would a man be feminine if he took on that role. Like for instance, a lot of people think that women are homemakers, and that supposedly is like a feminine role. But there are so many men out there who take on a role of homemaker or take on a role of house dad. Do you
But
think that
it's sad.
that's
But it's sad. Both male and females can exhibit feminine traits. So to
mm,
me, a trait is just, and society kind of um, defines some of the traits. Some of the definitions of traits and stuff.
right,
Um, and some, like you said, may be natural to some people, but as far as like roles, this is where it gets sticky because people don't want to admit to having particular roles. For me, defining my role in a relationship makes it easier on me.
right,
Which means, okay, you're responsible for this and I'm responsible for that. But if by chance you can't do it, and I still have the ability to do it, then of course I can drop it in, right? So
right.
for me in my household, even as I was brought up, there were just certain things that the girls were not allowed to do. They showed us how
Mhm.
to do it, just in case we got to do it. But it was certain things like taking out the trash, or washing your car, or
Right.
cutting the grass, or mopping the floors because apparently it pulled on some type of stomach muscles. So
But
there
do
were things.
you? I mean, not to cut you off, but do you think that that makes someone more masculine or more feminine? So, if like a woman is the one who takes out the trash, does that make her more masculine?
No, because it's just a trait that just because I can do it don't mean I want to do it or I have to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So to have the trait, I mean, it's just, for instance, sometimes people beyond the role, it also said like behaviors and attributes, right?
Right.
So
Right.
sometimes it's a term now called metrosexual, right?
Now that's been around though.
But
Yeah, I
a
know what
lot
you're
of
talking
people
about.
don't know about it. And
Yeah, I know
so,
what you're
but
talking
it was
about.
created for males who have more feminine tendencies, right?
Facts. Right.
So it's just really giving it another title. It's just giving it, you know what I'm saying? But to me, I like to use definitions, but I don't necessarily let it define me, because there are certain things that I feel like I'm just not gonna do. Whether you want to say I'm not gonna do it because I'm a woman or
Right.
whatever, I know how to change a flat tire. I do.
Right. As
I
I
got
think every person on earth should know. If you drive, you should know how to change your tires.
right, but
Um,
I'm gonna I'm gonna make a bunch of phone calls first, and if I have to, I will. But socially, I mean, sometimes that's not a feminine trait.
Right.
I
so
think it becomes a problem when
Oof.
you just feel like I gotta do everything myself.
mhm,
No, that ain't me.
I'm in
right.
a space now where I don't really attribute femininity and masculinity to roles and traits, because we've gotten so used to the fact that a man can do and a woman can do whatever a man does, and a man can do whatever a woman does, to a certain extent, to where it's like, how can you attribute that to femininity? Or that's why I personally believe it's basically it's an energy that you give off, a
Yeah.
feminine energy that you give off as a person, because there are men out there who I look at them and I'm like, the way they act, their energy that they give to me, that the energy that they give me, it's like, yo, you got a lot of femininity
Yeah.
in you. So I don't, and that's a dude. He probably could probably cut grass better than me, but
Yeah.
But you basing his energy actually off the attributes and behaviors that you're seeing him portray. Because you're not gonna, a dude can walk in and just, if he just walk in, you like, I don't know. And then the energy doesn't twist until they start showing their true attributes and their behaviors. You know what I'm saying?
I,
Like
I'm gonna have to disagree
it's
with you on
it's
that
not
one.
it's not the necessarily the role
Because
that they're playing, but like,
I
So
guess,
then,
I could agree. I guess I could agree.
yeah,
If they
so,
don't never say nothing and just come in and
yeah,
sit down,
yeah.
I would
so then,
never.
since that's what we're saying, then why don't you guys go ahead and give us examples of what being feminine looks like? Then.
I'll let you go first since you let me go first the first time.
So that's, I hate to make boxes for people. Um, because what it looks like ain't necessarily what it is. Because a person can put on a dress and still have very masculine traits.
That part. But at
So
the same time, if you masculine, why you putting on a dress?
because they still a woman. I said traits. I said because there are some women who have high testosterone levels, and there's nothing they can really do about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm feeling pretty today. I'm gonna put on a dress, or I'm feeling a certain type of way. I feel feminine. I got on sweatpants right now. I'm you can't tell me I'm not sexy right now. You know what I'm saying? So for me to say what it looks like, I believe it is determined on
I
who is
don't know.
seeing it. You know what I'm saying? Because
Uh,
what I deem feminine, the person looking at it might not deem it feminine. Because Brandon, I'll put on some drip jeans, some combat boots, an army fatigue shirt, and my logo shirt. Am I less feminine?
but you know what? I feel like femininity is a little bit more interchangeable with masculinity when it comes to that aspect than it is for masculinity
And you know what?
because it's a little weird to watch a dude, strong, masculine dude walking around with a dress on,
And
bopping
see,
like he hard. Like,
that's
nah,
why I'm
bro.
gonna
Like,
go ahead. I'm gonna stop it and cut it right there because I'm trying to get. That's why I asked the question because this is why I feel like society has it mixed up. I think society looks at a person wearing a dress or oh you got on jeans, you got on a hoodie, you're not feminine. I think society is getting it wrong because we're looking at the outer when it comes to femininity. So that's
right.
why I asked this question because I'm like, as us being the supposedly experts, I want us to give the people that's in the event give us what it looks like. Turn that
Yeah.
turn that image around that it looks like a person with a dress or it looks
Uh,
like a woman
Yeah,
with
that's
nails.
what I'm saying. Like you can't determine it by what somebody looks like. You can't even really determine it by the roles per se. Like it's
you can determine it. I
by a
guess it's.
role.
I guess no, no, not by
I'm,
roles, just by
Oh,
like I said, the energy that someone is exuding, and it
so
might be a
I'm
little bit
gonna make it real
difficult.
clear. So what can a man do that makes him portray a feminine energy?
Exhibit energy that's similar to a woman's,
What
or
is
a
that?
feminine woman, I should say.
What is that?
Just
I just
just
put Bianca's comment on the screen. I feel like she hit it.
mannerisms.
I feel like she hit it. I feel like this is exactly where I'm at. It's not necessarily the outer appearance of the clothing, the hair, the nails. That's not feminine because again, men
Right.
can do that. So I want us
Exactly.
to get to exactly what Bianca just said. It's more of an inner thing, I feel like. It's the inner,
Right.
it's gonna go back to the energy.
Exactly.
So I understand why you're saying energy or mannerism. Maybe mannerism is a better word. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I want us to get away from feeling like femininity is our outer appearance.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like
And
I
that's
feel
what
like
I
that's
was. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. What was you saying?
no, I feel like that's where the mishap is at with society when we're thinking about femininity. You got all these women, they look so fire, they so feminine looking when it comes
Right.
to apparel, but that energy, that mannerism,
Right.
you
Like a
know,
perfect example I could give when you're talking about like feminine and masculine. I got a homegirl. I love her to death. She's like the best homegirl I could ever have. But sometimes she exhibits very masculine energy. Like for instance, when she came to visit me, we were chilling. We was like, "Yo, we about to hit the mall." So we was leaving out the crib, and she like was walking, and she just spit on the ground. And I was like, "Yo, like
like what the
I ain't never in my life seen a woman like do something like that, like just out and like usually a woman will reserve that for like a napkin or if she even decides to spit at all. But the way she did it, it just gave me a masculine like energy. If I was like where that come from? You know what I'm saying? But that's kind of like an example of like masculine energy or when feminine energy. Like it's like you like as a man, if you have more feminine energy than you have masculine, you do things that you normally wouldn't do as a masculine man. Like I'm never gonna sit there and put my hand like this when I'm talking to you. I'm not gonna talk to you like suck my teeth every other word. I'm not gonna do certain things that give me the impression that you
As
were
a woman,
raised
I
by
don't do
nothing
that either.
but
But why
women.
you gonna give that sucking the teeth to women?
No,
Women
no,
don't
no.
do. We don't be.
I don't mean it like that, but it's like, you'll see that more in feminine women than you'll see it in a masculine man, if that makes sense. And that's kind of
Can
like
you
where I
put
get the
Brandy's not Brandy's Bianca's comment, like, because y'all know I'm a words person,
All
like,
right, I'm
so
gonna
she
put that
so
on.
she said soft, right?
Yeah.
Soft, elegant, graceful,
subtle side of a
subtle.
woman. Yeah,
See,
she hit it right
and
on the
that's
head
hard,
almost.
and then that portrayal sometimes make other women feel less than feminine, because what is soft? Like,
Hey,
Right.
Bianca, can I put you on the screen? Would you mind
what
getting on
is
the screen? Because I definitely want to
elegant?
tackle that as
Nah,
well.
but
Yeah.
the real talk thing of it is, and we're gonna get. I guess we'll get
Because
deeper
I
into
want
this.
her
Like a lot of women exhibit on the outside too. People that are like not, I guess they're in their personal. They exhibit a lot of masculine more than feminine. But then when
But
you
is it
get
a
them in that,
protection though?
it
But is it a
might be.
protection?
It might be, but I know
Yeah.
the woman that I first fell in love with, like I finally found out what love actually was. She was extremely like, it seemed like she was more guarded than masculine, but she had like a lot of like toughness to her, a lot of
Hmm.
hardness to her. And that just intrigued me. Like, why you like that? You mad beautiful. Like, why you know what I'm saying? The more that I got to know her and I spent time with her and she got more comfortable with me, I started to see her feminine side. And it was
Right,
like,
right,
oh,
right.
you know what I'm saying?
I,
Sometimes that feminine side can make you vulnerable. And a lot of women
I'm finna
hide
touch
that
that. I got some
Yeah.
femininity
questions. I'm finna
in
touch
their,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on it. Cause I get told all the time that I'm unapproachable, that I seem really aggressive.
Yeah.
right.
Um, but at home,
Yeah. You're a
no,
lot,
I'm
because
like the
it's,
cuddle bug. Like,
there you go. Because femininity is kind of like it's synonymous with vulnerability. Because when you're feminine,
but
you're more
sometimes
vulnerable.
I feel like women are not protecting enough even to sometimes be feminine outside the home. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
what is deemed feminine and natural to a person can seem flirty to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah.
she got to deal with throwing elbows to a person when she was just trying to, as this
Trying to be
soft and
nice.
elegant. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That is now not the norm. So when a woman is like, yeah, I'm putting my guards up, like,
Yeah. And that's where that masculinity comes from, I think. And,
yeah,
and women who don't mean to be masculine, they get that because they put their guard up, like you said,
it's
because
a
it's,
guard.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
while she's trying to get on the screen, so to that question, because that I think that's one of the questions I even got for later on down in my list. But so to that, because again, like as we're talking, let's try to keep in mind that the title is regaining our femininity. So let's tackle
Right.
these issues, but then in the same breath, let's start also speaking to the women, on how they can still gain that back. So even to what you said, it's very true. I found myself doing that as well, trying to protect myself, with that masculine energy. But at the same time, it's almost like, at what point do you stop always having to fight? At what point
Right.
always, at what point do you put the guards down and say, you know what, whether you try to come on to me or take my feminine, my soft side as being flirty, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
gonna let your misconception of me change my feminine side. Like, at what point do
Right.
you do that?
Well, I think it's a fine line there, because a lot of women don't understand that, sometimes they could take it too far, and it could come off as like, I don't really want to approach her because the way she acts, and she might not be doing that on purpose. So I guess it's like a fine line. I don't really know where it is that you're supposed to stop at, because I'm not a woman, so I can't say, hey, yeah, you're supposed to go to this point and then pull it back a little bit, especially if a gentleman is expressing interest in you, and wants to get to know you, but you too busy trying to put your guard up and box him in a ring. He like, whoa, I ain't trying to box you, I'm trying to get to know you.
It
I'm saying?
won't let
So
her come on.
a lot of men ain't gonna really take to that. A lot of men are just gonna be like, you know what, I'm good. I ain't got time to be boxing with no woman.
Fine, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so a lot of men are gonna back off.
I
It takes a very strong man to try to break through that and weave through all of that traffic to get to the destination of that femininity to see, and but hey,
It won't
But
let
what
her get on. I really wanted her on because I wanted her to explain it more, but her browser is not supported, it's saying, so it won't.
but Brandon, you
So
said
just check
something
the
earlier.
you
survey.
might hold on just for Bianca's sake. You might have to copy and paste that junk. Like you can't click the link and stuff. You have to like copy it and paste it into your web browser to do it. So try that and see
Oh,
if that
okay.
works.
So Bianca, if you really do want to get on and try that, so just instead of clicking the link I gave you, copy my link into your actual browser. Is that what you're saying? And
Yeah,
then
because
okay.
that's what I have to do to get on. I have to
But
copy and
Brandon, you
paste it.
said something earlier, and I did a survey when you asked me to be on the panel. Because I like to see how other people think too, that we want to take it away from like the physical part of it. But truth is that that's what we see first.
What do you mean by see first?
That's what we see. Like we see physical first, even before a person ever opens their mouth, right?
Right.
Sometimes we have, like I said, the outer appearance will sometimes lead you to believe that a person is not lead you to believe that a woman is not feminine just because of
Mm.
what she had on. Like
Crazy. I
um
had this conversation with somebody the other day.
I get that because I like to wear baseball caps and you know what I'm saying, like my Adidas sweatsuits and stuff like that, and I don't necessarily have a switch, like a hip movement thingy
I don't believe
sort of
that. I
person.
don't believe because
So that's why I say a lot of I've been told, like a lot of dudes be like, nah, you aggressive. I'm like, how am I coming off that way? And then when they talk to me, they be like, you kind of confusing. I'm like,
yeah. Well, I think it's more so because I just had this conversation where a young lady was telling me I had a conversation about light skinned women being able to get away with more shit than dark skinned women, or Latin women being like for instance the whole that toxic shit that some women do where they'll cut up a person's clothes if they get upset or key their car or set something on fire, and it's like it's accepted more by light skinned women than it is by dark skinned women. And she made the comment that dark skinned women are seen as more masculine, and I
facts.
was like, whoa, first of all, I ain't never heard nobody say Viola Davis is way too masculine.
Yeah.
I ain't never heard nobody say Naomi Campbell is way too masculine. There's plenty of dark skinned women who exude femininity just by being who they are. But so I don't think it's so much that it's the appearance, it's the appearance coupled with the energy that you project when you're out, because it seems like some women just have that like if you want to talk to me, get ready to fight.
No,
I'm
but
told.
I get what she's saying with the dark skin, light skin thing, because I am of a darker complexion. You can't tell because of this light
Right.
right here and this hot this beat right now that I put highlights on. But I get her experience. Everybody
Right.
doesn't understand that experience, but yeah, the comparison of light skinned, dark skinned is very true, even within
Mm.
our own culture. And I did literally see my light skinned friend do some stuff, and I'm like, if I'd have did that, boy, I'd have been every name but what my mom named me because oh, dark skinned girls are known for being easy to have sex with and light-skinned girls are more pure. Like I used to hear this growing up. Like,
Yo,
and so
whoever said that really don't know the
Yes,
truth.
I ain't never heard that.
Really don't know the truth.
I
I'm
think
telling you, I'm 40, I'm 45, and I grew up in the Midwest and I used to hear it all the time. And I used to be like, how do you determine a person off of something that they had no control over being? You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like a color tone doesn't necessarily give you certain characteristics or morals or
right.
ethics, but
But
Right.
people
see,
will attach that to you.
that's why, and I love like stuff events like this because I feel like at some point we got to start breaking those traditions. We got to start breaking those cliches and the history stuff because it's wrong. Like we stereotyping people before we give them a chance to show us who they are. Because that's me. I'm,
Right.
I'm a little light skinned on the light skin side, and I've been very told I'm mean and unapproachable. So, and that's based off my looks. Like I don't even talk. It's just my looks, like my persona. I'm told that. So it's not even from my end. It's not even a skin color type thing. In this society, like I've never really, heard that darker. darker skinned women are more meaner or madder than light skinned women. So everybody experiences, is different
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
I
I
like
mean,
Bianca.
no, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Bianca said the life experiences from childhood on up sets the tone for those energies, and it does.
That
I'm going to
part,
put Marla's comment on the
that part
screen.
right there,
Yeah, me and Marla
that
have
part.
talked before, and see the difference with because Bianca said it comes from the mothers teaching the daughters that energy, and I believe now these days a lot of moms are giving off that wrong energy to the daughters.
That
But
part.
me and Marla's experience is we were raised by men, so I didn't have a woman teaching me that. I had a dad, so I had to always be hard or rough, or for him it was always, oh, these men gonna always try to talk to you or touch you or like that. So I had to be hard, So it's like from the childhood on up, we were taught to be more masculine than we were taught to be feminine.
You were
Right.
taught to protect your feminine side. That's what you're saying.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I
yeah, yeah,
said earlier. Like, it's
yeah.
not that it's not there. It's just at some point something happened to cause you to be like, oh, I can't show this part of me to everybody because everybody can't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
So you ask, how do we be able to move? It's a protection thing. Like, black women do not feel protected, period, point blank, at this particular time in society. I got a
I
shirt.
mean, I
I got a
agree
shirt
with
that
you on
say
that.
protect the black women at all costs. And it's
I
crazy to
I
me
agree
that we
with
got,
you on that, but to a certain extent.
I mean, it's to a certain extent, like me living in this particular environment, I've seen things where I was brought up under a protective manhood, right? I have my
Mm,
dad, my uncles, my cousins. It was like, oh, you finna walk to your car? Let me walk you to your car. Or, you know what I'm saying? I felt that protection. And then because I felt that protection, they get to see the softer side of me. But if I
right.
don't feel that protection, I'm on guard not only to protect my femininity, but to protect my whole being. Like, what you finna do? You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard to be like you said, when can I? When I feel protected.
But
Right.
you know what? That's in today's society, and this has been my experience. I don't necessarily get that from men. I've been getting it from women. So when I
Okay.
say that, I mean I've been getting to the point where it's the women that I got to protect myself from. Because the minute you even show a feminine side to the women, they so masculine or so hurt and so bitter. They they're the ones that's like, throwing you under the bus or doing things to harm you physically, emotionally, you know,
Mm.
all of that. So it's almost like, dang, we trying to protect ourselves, not only from the men, but we trying to protect ourselves from the women.
Yeah,
Well,
that's a hurt.
I
That's
think
a
that
hurt. That's a
a
hurt,
lot of
and a
that,
and a lack of self-love, and a lack of them knowing that they are just as worthy and able to do the same thing that you're doing. Like, sis, you can do this. You just like me. You can do it too. What's for you is for you, and what's for me is for me. Like, but I feel like it's not embraced from, how many, Brandy, when I see women, I be like, hey, beautiful. That throw them totally off. You
Trying to
you
see you
talking
genuine.
you talking to me? Yeah, when I see women, hey, beautiful, and they be like, no, I'm not feeling that way today. But you still are. You know what I'm saying? We also have to pour into each other because we've been pitted against each other for so long, as though we should be in a competition with each other when we should just be collaborating and celebrating each other.
right. Well, this goes back to my comment where I said that um, there has to be a balance. Okay, so when you don't feel protected, or you grew up in an environment where you're you owe, like for Brandy's case, she was raised by her father. You know what I'm saying? Was your mother around as much as your father? So you didn't have the proper balance there to where you can understand where that line is that you're supposed
Literally
to.
in my 30s, maybe late 20s, 28, maybe 29, but literally in my 30s. And my friend Charity, she's on here. Um,
Yeah.
and actually, and I'm just gonna be transparent. I'm learning a lot of my feminine side through her. But I I literally started finding my feminine side late 29, early 30s. I'm only 33. So it has not
Right.
been that long, since I literally started trying to find my feminine side. But it wasn't because somebody told me I need to. It was because I'm like, I was tired of fighting all the time. I was tired of being this hard, you know what I'm saying, hard. I gotta always prove my point type person. I'm like, I'm tired. Mentally, I'm drained. Emotionally, I'm drained.
Right.
It has to be. I'm gotta get into my more humble, feminine, soft look, softer, as Bianca said, our softer side. And I find more peace in that. I find more balance when I'm more feminine than when I'm in my masculine energy.
I'm
So
gonna have to like. It's my personal belief. There has to be a balance in order for you to understand, you know, the importance of your femininity as well as the importance of your masculinity. If you're not being like, I agree with you when you say that there's a lack of protection from the masculine side to the feminine side, and I think that a lot of that has to do with the fact that a lot of these brothers out here, they're not raised with the proper masculine energy to show them this is what you can get as a masculine man if you use your masculinity properly
yeah,
to protect this femininity.
yeah.
And so you have way too, you have a lot of gentlemen out here who are raised by feminine women or women who think that they're feminine, but they're not actually feminine, and they overly masculinate or under masculine. I don't even know if that's even a
Yeah.
word,
We got you.
but
Emasculate,
yeah,
emasculate.
We
yeah,
got you.
these men, and so that's where you get this whole situation where a lot of these women out here are not feeling protected or comfortable enough being more feminine. If you haven't noticed, like throughout history, you've seen the progression of like or the degression of femininity in women. Before it was, women were dainty and they covered themselves and they walked around, and men put down, their coats in the puddle for them to walk across, and that don't happen no more. And the reason for that is because there's been a decrease in femininity and that balance that we talk about, that proper balance that you're supposed to have in the household when you're coming up. Even if it's just a male freaking what's it called, role model.
Hmm.
There isn't anything there to give you that example, if you will, of how you're supposed to be as a man, which is
So Terry, I just want to put what he said on the screen. So he said he feels it's hard to protect women who give off so much masculine energy. We want to protect and provide for our queens, but it seems like we're not allowed.
I think you're supposed to either way. Just
Yep.
just because a woman is lost doesn't mean that you're supposed to lose yourself in her woods. She could be lost, but you still maintain your status as a masculine man and help her find her way.
And
Because
it's not necessarily that she lost. I'm telling you, it's a protection. Like y'all, we not lost. We just need the protection. Some women are
right,
hurt. Like some women are hurt, but that's different. That's a different energy that they're giving off.
right,
Um, I always say don't let somebody else's behaviors change your character. If you gonna be that protector, whether they like, no, 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 well, this is me. I do it all the time. I'm just brought up this way. Like, you're not going to hear me talk to elderlies in a very aggressive way. My tone changes when I talk to elderly people rather than
right.
when I talk to somebody else. It's just who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just me. But it takes a village to raise a child,
Hmm.
because one person doesn't have everything that another person needs. So there are certain characteristics that I took from my mom. There are certain characteristics that I took from my grandmother, my aunt. But in the same aspect, I was single as a parent, but I had an awesome village
Right.
to give what I didn't have, because I hate the saying, "Oh, you're a woman and you can't raise a man." A man can't raise one person, can't raise nobody anyway. It takes a multitude of people
Yeah.
to raise a person. Like, that's the
Well, I
whole
don't.
dynamics of it.
I just want to touch on that real quick. I don't think that it's a matter of raising, because anybody can raise a child as long as you make sure that they fed and they got clothes on their back. You can raise a child. I think that it's this disconnect where women think that they can raise men to be men, and it's like you can't. It's impossible because you don't know what it is to be a man. So how can you raise somebody to be a man? And that's where I think the disconnect is, because
I
you can
think
raise a boy. You
for
can
me,
raise a boy. Just
Yeah,
Go ahead.
that'd be a throat chopper right there because it's some male humans who aren't men.
Yeah.
Male
Yeah.
humans.
I feel like I don't know the right wording for any of that, but I feel like okay, if you say women can't raise a man, I feel like we can at least train them to be gentlemen based off what we know gentlemen to be. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we may not be able to raise them in the manhood, but we can at least train them for how we would like our husband to treat us, or what
Right.
those characteristics. But also make sure he has, whether it's sports, maybe he got a coach, a uncle, a granddaddy, somebody in your life to help
That's
him.
why I say it take a village.
Yeah, yeah,
It take a
because
village.
I think a lot of the women for us, and I found myself doing that because I was trying to raise him the best I know how. I was being real hard with him, like masculine. Like, who you talking to?
Right.
Like, it was like we about to fight, and I'm like, this is my son. Why am I fighting my son? But that was my thought process on trying to teach him. Like, oh, you gonna respect me type thing. But I feel like I had to grow. I was growing into more of the masculine side of myself by
Right.
doing that and raising him that way until
And that's where like you can't, like, I understand what you like, especially when it's just you, but there has to be a point where you have to tell yourself, I can't be this thing that he needs,
Mhm.
because as a woman you can't be the man, because then you start to confuse them. You have to be the woman. You know what I'm saying? And if you need to get another man involved, then that's what you need to do. But you have to understand, like, just because you're the only parent and whoever he decided to do whatever the fuck, excuse my language,
Good.
that doesn't mean that you're supposed to take on his role,
Yeah.
because you have a role as his mother to be his mother, and that means to be the softer, subtle, the that side of the feminine side, to show him this is the feminine side, and then you have the man to show him this is the masculine side.
And see,
There has to be a balance.
I learned that. And ladies, I don't know if you're on and you have dealt with this before too. I had to learn, like I said, when I was 29, 30, 31, when I started really going to my feminine side, I had to learn, okay, don't be hard, or don't possess that masculine energy. Let I got two best friends, male best friends. Let them, his uncles, his coach, whenever his dad not around, get him. So what I started doing as the feminine side of me, I started showing him this is what a woman is supposed to treat you like, and that's not to be that's not to pervert that. But what it
Right.
is okay, you need to talk. I'm gonna listen. I'm not gonna over talk you. I'm not gonna point my finger in your face, and I'm not going to be rude to you. I want to show you this is what a woman is supposed to do. I'm supposed to be gentle with you. I'm supposed to be understanding with you.
Right.
I'm supposed to, not well. I'm who are you? Who you think you a child? Don't talk to Don't talk about that. No. What do you have to talk to? What does your mom need to know about you? Because you're growing. You're a
Right.
growing person as well. What I thought my 5-year-old son was, he's not no more at 12. So, as a woman, I had to learn that that's what our feminine side is. It's not
Right.
always let me whoop you with this belt and show you don't play with me, I'm mama. Although I do agree with whooping, so I'm gonna say
Yeah,
that.
Hey, look,
even
I
with
ain't
that,
never known a woman that know how to whip.
at one particular time, the discipline was handed off to the masculine person in the relationship. So being a single parent household, sometimes things get geared a different way. That's why I say it takes a village because
Yeah.
even as a woman, right? And I have a daughter. I went to an event and this lady made it so clear. She said, my mom was an orange and I was an apple. Okay. She gave me everything that she had as an orange, but it wasn't enough because I was an apple. But her being an awesome mom, she put me in the presence of other apples. And
Yeah.
sometimes what people fail to realize, like I said earlier, we got what we got, right? But we need to allow other people into our children's lives to show them other
That
things that we don't have. And that's
I
part of
agree.
being a good parent to me. Like people want to take possession of other humans, which is mind-boggling to me. Yes,
Ooh,
I birthed this child. It was a gift to me, but this child is also a gift to the world to teach and to learn from the world, not just I was the vessel. I was. But I also as a mother, need to be like, okay, you need to learn this from this person because that is a good characteristic that I know I don't have, and you need to learn this from this person because you know what I'm saying. And
Right.
even today, my children are 22, 25, and 26, and they, I parent them in a manner that they are comfortable enough to even still teach me today. You know, sometimes be like, I'm the mama, you can't teach me nothing. The lies you tell the first time you say that, you're a dumb fool. And
you
that's
never
what's
you
wrong
never
with
stop
women
learning.
today. Like even if at 46, there are things that I can learn from someone who's younger than me, and there are things that I can learn from women who are older than me. But we have to be willing to teach what we know, give it everything we got, and then we have to be able to shut up and listen and receive some stuff, not just from other women, but from men too. Like
That part.
um women in I ask women who have had multiple relationships, what did you learn from your last relationship
Mm.
that will benefit you in your present or future relationship? It's something that you were supposed to learn from that particular partner. Whether you know what I'm saying, like, but people don't. They ain't trying to teach. They just trying to get everything what they can get from that person, and then
Absolutely.
going
Right.
about their business. And I feel like
Exactly.
even with feminine parts, like people mix it up with being sexy or being provocative. Like, oh, she not feminine enough because she ain't showing enough skin.
Yeah.
Them two different things.
Two different
Them
Yeah.
dumb.
things.
But if
Use a Jezebel is what you is.
but you got to sit down and listen and talk to the person and ask them. So how do you get them to relate to each other without telling that person that, hey, you a dum dum. You know what I'm saying? You got, because we don't know their background. We don't know who taught them that was feminine, right? Because
Obviously the wrong person.
Yeah.
but but if we approach it the wrong way, then they get on the defense. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, maybe that ain't what it was. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like the whole thing about being feminine, you have to look at a person's background and see. That's why when you ask, I'm like, that's a hard question to ask because my space, and so my meaning of it is gonna be different than Muhammad's space and meaning of it. Not to mention we in different genres of the world, different
Right.
genders, different age brackets. Like what was cute and feminine in the 20s, which I love the roaring 20s, like the Harlem Renaissance stuff. Like to me, that was like the ultimate. Oh my God, like they so pretty and all this stuff and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then I look at today and I'm like, we have so many more luxuries, but
It's
we
a
have so much
digression.
less. Yeah, we have
It's
so
it's a
much less.
digression. Yeah.
I,
But I think. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, but I ask these questions because I look, everybody's in different spaces in their life. So something you may say resonate with somebody else and not the other person, and vice versa. So I like throwing these hard questions out or these weird questions out just to get,
Mm.
thought processes going. Anthony, so I'm going to move on to my next question. But Anthony, if you want to, I would like for you to get on the screen, if you don't mind getting on the screen, because I want you to kind of explain your comment, because I think that's going to help um, Terry's comment and what he said. But Anthony's comment said, no matter how a woman comes off, we have to try and always protect them. It takes
That
deep
part.
down, she
Terry said the
still
same thing.
she will still know that we got her back. So now Terry said, he did say a little bit though, like, well, it's kind of hard to do that when they're masculine. So Anthony, I kind of
Mm.
want you, if you don't mind, getting on the screen and kind of explain to Terry and us, like, so how do you do that when these women are acting masculine? Like, how do you go ahead and just still protect them in spite of? So
It's
why?
easy.
So
It's
let me know if
easy.
you want to get on the screen. I'm going to go on to my next question until I
I
guess.
would just caveat that by saying that there isn't a woman on the planet who's going to out masculine a masculine man. Okay, no matter how daggone masculine you are as a woman, you will never be able to be more masculine than a man who understands what masculinity is and how to exude that. So
Yeah,
So
that
but
what
plays into
yeah,
a part of
but you got
how
to
you
recognize that
express.
too, because it's alpha
right?
men and then there are beta men. There are different.
That
There's
part.
Ooh.
alpha and beta women as well, and so
That
like
part.
you got to realize who you are, and a,
Hmm.
a lot of people don't understand. There's different types, so
Yeah,
that's a whole
you have to have
different.
a deep knowledge of yourself. That part.
Yeah,
I agree.
but
Uh,
I got a question.
uh-huh.
Let me make sure I say this right. Come back to me. I'm gonna get it
Write it
together in my
down,
head.
write it down, write it
I'm gonna
down.
get it together. I got it, but it's like I want to make sure that I ask it in the manner that okay. So we understand that something was lost, right? But we're not acknowledging what occurred to cause women to, in some places, be more masculine. Which, in my thought process, was when
I got
we
that question
we
already set up on my daggone page.
we started having less availability to our men. So we
Mhm.
had to, once again, we had to pick up what they say, pick up your britches and do the tote the weight, because our men started being not present. So we started. It's in us, like it said. You have the feminine, and okay. So you have estrogen and you have testosterone in you. You know what I'm saying? So at some point, you was like, I don't have this presence in me anymore. So now I got to do that trait or those roles that he once did. Right now that the men are trying to be more present, it is hard for some women to be like, okay, I'm gonna let you do this. But we
Yeah.
we don't acknowledge that sometimes. That, and once
Well,
again,
some
that's
women
why
just
it's not
don't
the
want
projection.
to.
Well, you
They're
know,
it's in their mind that they are the epitome of masculinity, or
yeah, and I think Terry
and that's where that comes from.
And
And
I
I,
think
yeah,
Terry just said that,
Epitome
like
of
he
yep,
said that's facts. He said, with certain women, the more you push to protect and provide, and now this I have seen. To Terry's defense, I have seen this. With certain women, the more you push to protect and provide, the more they resist.
right.
Sometimes it causes unwanted problems. So that's kind of why I wanted Anthony to kind of get on, or somebody just kind of say, he's right. Terry is right. I do see that often. So what do you do in those aspects? Like, do you just give up then and just be labeled as, oh, you didn't protect me? Or, how do you push past women who
no,
are like that?
that's an
I
alpha woman that's gonna get with a beta dude. That alpha
I
woman is not
agree.
gonna
I
that
agree.
alpha woman is not gonna be able to be with. That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
some
yeah.
we can't put all women into the same category, because an alpha woman feminine femininity is different than a beta woman's femininity. Actually, what we're really talking about are more beta type characteristics
Yes,
for
that's what
some.
we're trying to stick
So
with.
that
I'm
woman,
a,
that woman is distributing like real strong alpha stuff. Like, but sometimes
but see the alpha and beta. There's a because as a masculine man, you got alpha males and you got beta males.
right,
Feminine is the same thing. You got alpha women, beta women. It's no difference. It's just some alpha women, they aren't going to be able to coexist with
no,
alpha men
exactly.
because of the fact that they're alphas. That doesn't necessarily take away from an alpha woman be her and her femininity, because you could
Right.
be the most feminine alpha woman on earth. You just have it in your mind that I don't need a alpha male. I'm
Yeah,
alpha
that's what I'm saying.
enough.
Yeah,
I'm alpha enough.
they need a
So
beta
what I
dude.
need is a beta dude, yeah, that's gonna sit there and be okay with her being an alpha, and you just sit there and just you along with it. You along for the ride.
So this brings me to my next question then. Do you feel women lose a part of themselves every time they choose the masculine energy over their feminine side?
Not me.
Hmm,
It's a
that's a good
situational thing.
question.
It's a situational thing, and if I have to now I have to have my masculine self come out for this situation. It is this situation, but like I said, I'm still gonna be who I am once I'm
One
done with
second,
this situation.
ladies. I do apologize, but nature calls. So I'm going to take a quick
All right,
intermission and go use the
amen.
bathroom. And I will
Sip,
be
sip.
right back. I
Okay,
apologize. I so
I,
apologize.
no problem.
I don't feel like I'm gonna lose me, because I know who I am. I'm just probably gonna distribute this particular trait or character or role for this particular situation. For whatever reason, I can't call on a male counterpart to do so.
For me, I feel like you are a balanced woman though. So I feel like it's hard to compare somebody to you because you've been through the motions or the growth, so you're balanced. But I've seen a lot of masculine women who they just all out of balance. And it's like no matter what you try to do for them, to them, they always see it in a negative sense. So it goes back to, yes, they try to protect themselves, but they so masculine, like it's almost like, I don't need you to do nothing. I know how to change my tire. It's a
But you
nasty.
gotta get back. You gotta find the core of that. Like we just seeing the symptoms or the response of something. There is a core situation that happened for them to always have this presence about themselves. It's just like an alcoholic. The alcoholism is a symptom of something that's not being handled.
My
So
apologies.
a lot of times people see the response now, not realizing what made this woman get to the point where she say she don't need a man. What happened? Where did that come in? Like Brandon, you know when I that's one of them things that make the hair on the back of my neck stand up when when you want to present yourself as too independent, but then you say you want to be in a relationship. To me, that don't work. Like, cause to be in a relationship, self-sufficient is great, but to be too independent, that person is not going to see where they fit in your life. And then they're just nobody want to be no, I don't know nobody to be no token.
Hey, Anthony, if you got
Bro, I was
headphones,
finna say, I was about to say, it's
he
just the truth.
made it. you got
What's up?
headphones? If not, it's fine. I don't think I hear feedback. But before I let you talk, I did want to say back to Tabasha, it's one of those things where it's never a blueprint to any of this. But I do believe though, as a woman, I get that there's traumas, I get that there's things as to why you feel you gotta be masculine or whatever. But at some point, when do you break that cycle? When do you say, okay, I'm tired of being hurt, I'm tired of being bitter. I want this relationship. I know I need to let him lead. Let me do that inner work, that shadow work.
But some
You
people
know what I'm
don't
saying?
see that. Some people never see that. Some
That's why
people
we
are
have these.
always going. Some people are always going to be. Some people are always going to be. It ain't me. And I tell people all
Oh,
the time, if you've had 5 relationships with the same person, they just got different names, you're the common denominator. But some people don't see it. Like a friend of mine made a very good point. You can't heal without acknowledging what you're healing from.
That part.
that's true.
And some people have such a trauma that the body and the brain is crazy, right? It'll block out the trauma, but you are still showing the behavior behind the trauma. And you sit up here like, why am I like this? I don't even know why I'm like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know this is wrong. I know I'm jacked up, but I don't know why I'm like this. And sometimes
Hey,
some people just don't get to that part.
Hey, Denise, I didn't even know who that was. It says Facebook user, but Denise, I just sent you a link. If you could click into there and give
Oh,
us give us her. He fell again. He's too drunk, y'all. But
You lit.
Denise, if you could click into that link I gave you, that way it could show us your profile and when you comment. Because other than that, we only see Facebook users. So I don't know who's commenting.
Dang.
But I want
Y'all
to say,
jacked
but
up in the
Anthony,
game.
before I let you speak, I did want to put Denise's comment on the screen because I agree. Hold on. It moved. Hold on.
Who's the gentleman that's on the screen?
This is Anthony.
How you
Okay,
doing?
Anthony. All right.
Okay, so this is Denise's comment. So she said, although some women had to step up in the absence of a man, a woman, no matter if they're alpha, they cannot take that place in need for a man. And absolutely, that's why I'm saying, Denise, I feel like these conversations got to be had more and more because women they gotta see that. Like you can't be this alpha 100% or 90% or whatever alpha, and then you expect this man to come in and just be, take on the role of a man. You got to step back from that. You
Right.
can't stay on the same level with him. At some point, you got to give and take. But don't get mad also when men don't stay in your life either because you don't want to step down from that alpha role like that. When needed. So.
Well, some women don't want to step down from that alpha role, and that's the problem. They want to be the alpha. They want to be the man.
That's why it
And
was two
it's
different types of men created. That's why you got an alpha and a beta. Because some people just ain't gonna. Some men ain't gonna step up into alpha, and some women ain't gonna step back to beta. So it works.
right,
Yeah, Terry,
but it's
I
like
know. I can get you on the screen too. I love.
we need to get rid of this notion that when we say beta, we attribute that to femininity. Like that's it's not necessarily
Oh no,
feminine to be a beta.
mm-mm. It's
Yeah.
not. It's just you have
Um,
different tolerance to me. That's what the difference is between alpha and beta. You have a different tolerance in the way that you present or receive things.
That part.
so Anthony, if you remember your comment in particular, it was kind of going back and forth off of what Terry was saying.
Oh
I
Right.
agree
shit.
with Terry, but if you would just kind of explain to us, so how does a man still continue to that help to a woman who's not feminine? You know, a woman who's got this masculine energy. How do you proceed through that particular fight
I
and
mean,
still
y'all
do
can
it?
hear me, right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So, and I'm speaking from experience that a lot of my
Hold on.
my friend.
Before you start speaking, where are you
Okay,
located and how old are you?
I'm in St. I want to. I was about to say St. Louis, but I'm outside of St. Louis. I'm in O'Fallon, Illinois.
Oh, he
And
right around the corner. Right around the corner. Go ahead.
yeah, I'm 35. I forgot my age for a second too. That means I'm getting old. I'll be turning 36 in a month.
I see the
Okay.
gray.
And I asked
Yeah,
those because we know it's like generational and regional that matters. So go ahead. Thank you.
right. So, first I gotta throw this little history out there. I was raised partially by my mother for a period of time, and I was raised partially by my father for a period of time. So when my father remarried, that's when I was raised by my stepmother and my father. I watched him do certain
What
things.
age bracket?
Say that again.
What age bracket were you just with your mom? What age bracket were you just with your mother?
So when I was just with her, I was pre-10. I want to say 7. So from 7
Okay.
to 10, I was with her.
Okay.
So my dad and my stepmother have a lot more influence on me as a person than my mom does. But even now, I never forget anything that she told me. And when I was just a little kid, without putting my too much of my family history out there, she looked at me, and I mean, she had nights where she would cry a lot. And she looked at me and she made me promise that I'd always respect a woman and I'd always protect them. So I'm coming from that aspect of it. With that being said, I had to understand that we as society, we hurt each other. There's no denying that. Um, so when I say that you got to protect them no matter what, yeah, you're gonna take some lumps. It's gonna be a lot of pushback. Like there are a lot of women that say, "No, I don't want you to do this for me. I don't want you to protect me. No, I'm good. You ain't got to walk me to my car." Even at work right now, this girl would refuse to let me help her break a box down. I mean, it's a box, but I never really understood that until I realized that, oh, she's been hurt and she's been told that she can't do it for so long. So I had to realize that first, and then I had to accept the fact that there's going to be times where she allows me to step in and help her. And then there's going to be times where I can't step in and help her. And me knowing that when she says, "Hey, I got it," I'm like, "All right, cool. But if you need me, I'm right here." And as soon
That
as she
part.
struggles, she's like, "Hey, Anthony, can you come give me a hand?" That's when I step in and I make sure she's straight. That's the same thing with any of my women friends. When they say, "Hey, I need you to do this for me," no problem. I got you. If you need it, I'm right there. Like you could be 30 minutes away. Like, oh, you locked out. You need me to help you hang a TV. All right, boom. I'm on the way. Um, I got a friend right now. She struggles with understanding that I'm helping her. Like she'll look at me and be like, "Why are you like this?" I'm like, "This is just who I am. Like I'm not gonna let you fail. Like I'm not gonna let you hurt yourself. If you need me, I'm right here. Why not take it?" But then as I'm saying that, I'm catching myself because I'm like, wait. Then she gonna look at me like I'm forcing the help. So I guess what I'm saying is you kind of gotta teeter a little bit. You can't just force it. Like women, in my experience, women are gonna take the help when they're ready to take the help. And as soon as they're ready to take the help, that's when you step in and you help them.
Right.
And the more they're seeing that you're allowing them to make that decision instead of forcing it, that's when some of those walls of hurt start to slowly peel away. And then you can step in and say, "Oh, yeah, I can do this for you too." And then they're starting to look at you like, "Oh, you a man for real?" Like, yeah, I am. I'm not what you used to.
Man, bro, you just preached a whole sermon. I'm over here like everything that he's saying makes so much sense and it's so right because as a woman
Cheers,
who
brother.
can, I don't want you to make me feel like I'm less in by pushing it and saying, "Oh, you a woman, you can't do." Don't do that because then
Right.
I'm
Right,
irritated, I'm ticked off. But to let me know that when or if I need you, you are there. That is like crazy an opening. Like
yeah,
don't dictate to me at all. Not don't tell me, oh, you shouldn't be doing that because you know woman. Well, I've had to do this, so I've been doing it. Now, if you're trying to be
right,
like, I know you can do this, but I'm here to help you, that's different.
right.
You know what I'm saying? I know
Right.
you
But
doing
see,
it.
that's
Yeah.
the difference between an alpha woman and a beta woman. See, an alpha woman ain't gonna allow you to take away from her being who she is. A beta woman is going to expect you as a man to step in, like what she said, like my brother Anthony said with the box situation. A beta woman is going to sit there and be like, "Are you going to carry this box?" An alpha woman is going to carry the box, you know. And if it's too heavy, then she might be like, "Hey, yo, Ant, you think you can help me with this because it's a bit heavy?"
Yeah.
And that's the
I'm
difference
the
between
beta.
an
I'm the
alpha woman
beta.
and a beta. There you go.
But
You know, and,
but
and there's nothing wrong with that. You
I'm
know
an
what I'm saying?
alpha woman, but I have beta. I have strong beta tendencies from a person that I know is doing it out of genuine, like I'm just genuinely this way. If I
Right.
feel like you got some type of different intentions about the way that you approaching me, bruh, I drop this box on my foot before I let you know.
Hey,
Cause I don't want the backlash. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I
Right.
don't want the well, remember that time I helped you with the box? Can you, bro? No.
So he said yes. That's what he meant. So he said that's what he meant. Oh, Denise Michelle, can you please, 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 if you are in a situation right now, are you able to get onto the screen with us? Um, I'm gonna put. Thank you, Anthony.
Thank
Thank you
you
for
so
chiming
much.
in.
Everything you described was like great of how
It
to
was on
knock
point.
those walls down.
Hey,
No
salute to
problem.
you,
No problem.
King. Yo, keep
Appreciate
doing
that.
what you're doing,
Appreciate that.
King.
So
No
You on
doubt.
the right track.
As a black woman, I see you and I appreciate you.
yeah, that's dope.
I appreciate that you see me. I see. I appreciate that.
that means a lot because you know how
It
these black
does,
women
right?
be
Yeah,
Man.
I
sometimes
know.
out here in these streets, brother.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Denise, if you want to get on the screen, let me know so I can post the comment link under your comment. But I'm gonna put her comment on the screen because I think we heard it. She said there will always be a why, but women need to heal and joy. I might be reading it wrong. Women need to heal and joy use the why. Okay, I'm not getting it right.
Are you reading it
there
right?
were
That's what you typed it.
okay, so there will always be a why, and women need to heal from the why. Okay, there's more strength in saying I need you.
That part.
So
Yeah.
It is.
She hit
But
that
I said
right.
that
Yeah.
earlier. When a person don't feel like they are needed in that in a particular relationship, and I don't mean just intimate. I mean like a period point blank. I'm quick to tell you. I will remove myself because I see that you need some assistance, and apparently I'm not the one that you need it from. So I'll remove
That
myself
part.
so that you can get what you need from somebody else.
Right. And
But
I
yeah,
think that's and that's a huge problem today when we talk about this whole topic of regaining femininity. It's because a lot of women, and no disrespect to black women, but it's a lot of y'all black women out there who have this notion that you don't need a man, and it's like as a black man
oh
that's
yeah,
a
I said
blow
that
to
on
our
your potty
ego.
break.
That's a blow to our ego. Like, yo, at some point we need to feel like you actually do need us. If you don't need us, what's the point of us being around? You know what I'm saying?
that's
Like,
the
it
point.
has to be a
Yeah.
yeah, there has to be
That's
some
what I want to say
reciprocity there.
exactly. When we get into this feminine side, and I get it, I get for the longest we have had to do everything. We've had to be the single parent. We've had to be the okay, no problem, Denise. We've had to be that alpha. But at some point, when do we break the cycle? When do we show men we appreciate you? I need you. Like I need
Right,
your help. Like I feel like women are stubborn and I feel like we go through this thing of, well, I shouldn't have to act. They should just know. No. That's not
right,
feminine energy. That's not feminine
Right.
energy. That's a whole masculine. Oh, you know, homeboy, you
No,
should
that ain't no,
know.
that ain't
Like,
feminine or masculine. That's dumb dumb.
okay,
Well, you
that
know what?
that
A lot of
That's
it
a
has to
talk,
do
but
with the
that's a
fact
taught.
that
That's but somebody taught them that. Like somebody taught them that.
I
And
feel
I
like
get this with
society has taught them.
couples where they will say, "Oh, well, I just want him to change." Okay, so how would you like him to change? And it pisses me off when their response is, "Well, I don't know, but I
I
just
don't
know
know.
he needs to do something." What?
Oh my
that's
If
when
God.
you
you
ain't got
don't
knowledge of
know, if you
self.
don't know how to say what you really need, then how are they supposed to know what to do to
Exactly.
adjust? Like
Exactly.
I
And
said
that's why
earlier, yeah, I said that earlier. Like have these courageous conversations. I tell couples have courageous conversations because what I needed in my 20s, I don't need in my 30s and my 40s. I need something new, different. You know what I'm saying? But I have
Right.
to be able to articulate that to you. But this is the thing, and I'm going to keep saying this. I will allow help if I think it's genuine. If I feel like you're doing it for something else, in return down the leg, it's not gonna work. So to release some things, I have to feel like that man is genuinely, this is genuine, says, I'm just trying to help you out because I do it as a woman. As a woman, I'm supportive. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my roles. It's to you see the vision, right? So as a woman,
Mhm.
I got your resources, your referrals, and your support. But every man can't take that because in their eyes, what's she helping me for?
Nah,
That's my virtue is to help you. Just like
oh,
a lot of that has to do with past hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because
that's
it's
what I'm
my
saying.
opinion.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, saying what the ulterior motive is as far as them trying to help you. As a man, they're supposed to do that anyway. So that should be your mentality as a woman, as a feminine woman, is as a masculine man, their mentality should be, hey, whether they have an ulterior motive is irrelevant, because as a man, that's what they're supposed to do anyway. Now, if there
But
is an
that's like a
ulterior motive,
contradiction though. But if you have an ulterior motive, then you're not doing it as a man. You're doing it for the motive.
no, no, no. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter why they're doing it. The fact that they're doing it should be enough. Now, if they
No.
have an ulterior motive, that's what I'm saying, then that's up to you as a woman to nip that in the bud. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I didn't ask you for this. You volunteered it. Some of them, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing with men when it comes to women. When this is what we're talking about with this femininity, y'all take it as like, you know what I'm saying, it's a blow to y'all to be more feminine. And it's not. You're supposed to be more feminine. That's what we expect from you as masculine men. We expect that when we give out masculine energy, we get feminine energy in return. But if we get masculine energy in return, it's an imbalance. And then you start that whole, I don't need you and I don't need you. And that's not how it's supposed to be. A woman is supposed to be a woman. A man is supposed to be a man, and y'all supposed to be able to meet in the middle. And if somebody has it in their mind that, oh, this person has an ulterior motive, that's past hurt that's eating at your brain, and you need to let that shit go. Because if they do have an ulterior motive, that's on them. That don't have anything to do with you. You know what I'm saying? Now, if they are offering to help and you need that help, you need to understand, like, do I really need that help?
and I think
And you need to charge their masculinity to that. If you don't want to, whatever their ulterior motives is, you ain't cool with that, you need to charge their masculinity to that. Nah,
it's
bro. Nah.
boundaries.
As a man,
Yeah.
it's your job as a man to be the masculine help. And your ulterior motives ain't got nothing to do with that.
I think it's too many walls up, especially with women, and that's why I say we have to give them practical things to get back to our feminine side. So I do agree to a certain extent with that. It doesn't matter what their motives are. What are you like? Why are you letting your hurts and bitterness or whatever happen? Why do you let that change you? At the end of the day, you have to get back
That part.
to being a woman. You have to get back to being
That
softer,
part.
feminine and
So
and and
so
boundaries. We're
what
boundaries
y'all
though.
saying is if I know that this dude is offering, so my son just went through this situation. This lady needed help on her car, right? And she was asking for help. And the guys was like, "Oh, I'll come help you, but I need this in return." that
So if
motive.
he say that though, if he say that, that's an automatic no. I don't need your
That's what I'm
help.
saying
Exactly.
because he's saying you said don't the motive don't matter, but I'm like they're literally only assisting because they expect this in
So
return. Like to
But then
me,
that's
that
not genuine, and you can dismiss that
and that's what
altogether.
I'm saying.
okay,
I think
okay.
when we say motive, I think what we're saying is don't question everybody thinking you know their motive unless they give you a reason to question them. So like what he said, oh shoot, you just show me what your motive is. You ain't finna help me, gone.
Okay,
But
okay, because I was hearing that. I was hearing like it don't matter what
right,
they.
right, 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 right.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Right.
agree. If it's genuine, like I'm gonna take you for on site. I'm gonna take you for what you on site. But if anything persuades the other way, I got you. But Brandy, you brought up something earlier in the week. I don't know if it was on your page or on your coaching page about being submissive, right?
Mhm.
And I talk about this all the time. And I'm an alpha woman. So people genuinely think that I have a problem with being submissive. No,
Mm.
I love the fact that I can be submissive. But what I am not going to do is be submissive and allow you to lead me the wrong way.
Yeah.
I have
Mm.
to feel and know that you're going to lead and not be a dictator because there's a difference. So a lot of time people get that confused with, oh, you don't want to be submissive because you don't want to listen to nobody. But what you telling me don't make sense. Like, you
It
know what I'm
sound
saying?
like it sound like you a beta woman with alpha woman tendencies.
That's my next question. That's my next
It
question
depends on.
after
That's what I'm saying. It depends on what. Like Brandy tell you, I'm really balanced. It depends on where you catch me
she's
at.
balanced.
But my
Yeah.
my
Right.
my initial presentation outside of my home is definitely alpha.
Yeah.
But because I'm a teacher, so I'm all and I'm a teacher, and some things that I do literally are holding people's lives in my hands. So I'm really
Right.
aggressive with that. But
Right.
at home, I'm that woman that's like, so what you want for dinner? Well, what you want? Whatever you want, bro, because I'm not trying to
But
decide that. Like,
that's not alpha or beta. That's you being a feminine woman. You know what I'm saying? Because in my opinion, a woman,
The
depend
nurturer.
at the end of the day, what you exude outside of the presence of your significant other is what you do. But when you with a man, and you have a relationship with a man, he should be the masculine and you should be the feminine.
I don't have no
Unless you're an alpha woman. So of course you're going to be more masculine than that beta male. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't necessarily mean that y'all can't coexist together. But if you have an alpha masculine man, it doesn't matter what you are outside of the house being all alpha and all of that, because at the end of the day, I personally believe most women get their tendencies from the men that they deal with. When we
But
talk about masculine energy,
when
they
I
get
look
their
at
masculine energy from the men that they deal with. So their examples of masculine energy come from the men that they deal with. So if you dealing with a man that's giving you that energy that's masculine, you're gonna go exhibit that masculine energy outside of your home. But when you come home, you recognize that, hey, you're the alpha in this relationship. I'm the beta. I'm the feminine, you're the masculine, and that's the hierarchy of power, if that's how it works. If that's a horrible analogy, but that's just
but
how I see it.
even with a alpha woman with an alpha man, like you said, someone is going to have to be the leader, right?
Right.
But in the alpha woman's
In the
defense,
alpha woman's mind, she's the leader. And
not
that's why she
necessarily.
can never exist with the alpha male. Because
I
an
but I
alpha male is always going to be the
I
leader.
see I see alpha women who can be with alpha men. It's the
Then
right.
she's really a beta with alpha woman tendencies.
What do you consider Jill Scott?
I don't really know too much about Jill Scott other than her music.
Okay,
So
so
I don't really.
she said one time before, and I feel this deep in my soul. If you can tell me what to do, you can tell me what to do. But if you can't, you can't. So as a like I said, as an alpha woman, like what you tell me has to make sense. I'm not just gonna be puppy dog and be yeah, nah.
Okay,
I'm
so
so
you're an
what
alpha
I'm so
woman
glad.
to other women, but when it comes to just
Oh,
in
No,
general,
I'm
let's
you're a
like
go
that.
back.
beta.
I'm like
Let's
that
go
with my
back to what
music.
Tabasha said. Let's go back to that because I'm glad you said that because my question on the screen literally says, why do you think women feel they can see what a man needs to do to change, but we don't see how we need to be more feminine?
Huh? Why
Why
do
does a woman see? Why can she see what a man needs to do? Like going back to what you said about Jill Scott. Oh well, if you could tell me what to do, then you could tell me what to do. But if you can't tell me what to do, then I'm not gonna listen. You can't tell me what to do. So
Right.
why is it that we can see what a man needs to do to change and be that alpha male, but we can't see when we need to be more feminine?
I'm all about change, so I don't understand that question.
I, I think it's more so of just a fact of a misunderstanding, because and I have this question down because I think that is due to the rise of feminism, this feminist movement, that gave women the idea that
Oh,
they can be and do whatever a man can do, and and that's where this whole "I don't need a man" idea comes from. And my thing is, and it goes back to your alpha beta thing, and it's like, there's only one alpha. When you're dealing with a wolf pack, there's women and men in that wolf pack, or females and male dogs in that wolf pack, or that wolves in that wolf pack. But there's only one alpha. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't matter who it is, but there's only one alpha. So when you're dealing with an alpha and a beta situation, if as a woman, yeah, you may be a alpha to other women, but if you're willing to be submissive to a man, you're not really an alpha. You're a beta with alpha tendencies, because you're a beta that understands that ain't nobody gonna be able to dominate me other than an alpha. Okay, so that's what that is. As an alpha, you understand ain't nobody gonna be able to dominate me. Period. Doesn't matter what you are, who you are, you're not gonna be able to dominate me. So that's where that disconnect comes from. And a lot of women think that they're alphas when they're not really alphas. And then when they come across an actual alpha male, they don't know how to deal with that, because it's like, as an alpha male doesn't want an alpha woman because they don't want to be challenged as far as their leadership potential. Now I understand what you're saying, Tabasha, as far as like, hey, I don't want nobody to be leading me into a daggone cliff. You know what I'm saying? I get what you're saying. I am 100% in agreement with you. Ain't no way in heck I'm gonna follow you into a burning bush. Why? We gonna die in there? Why would we go in there? So I get what you're saying, but that's a alpha's mentality. But as a woman, you're willing to submit to a proper leader. As an alpha, I know I'm a proper leader. Ain't nobody. I'm not submitting to nobody because I know what I'm doing. So nah, I'm not following nobody because I already know the path and I know how to get there. I just want you to make sure that the mugs that's following me is actually following me. You know what I'm saying? So there's a
But with
difference
that,
in that. Go
with
ahead.
that, with the alpha thing, the thing to me that makes it make sense is that it's an order of your household, right? Your
Mm-hmm.
creator, which you determine your morals and your ethics from, right? To
Right.
me, if you're not following those steps, I can't follow you.
Hmm.
If that
See,
makes sense.
it makes sense, but that takes me back to the before I say my question. Denise said a beta male could still be the head of a household with an alpha male, a female, and that's that balance. And I think that goes back to even being respect. So yeah, you could be an alpha male, but no, when it comes to the household, I'm the alpha. I mean, you could be an alpha female, but no, when it comes to the household, that male is still supposed to be an
That
alpha.
part.
He's supposed to be
That
dominating.
part.
But what you just said, Tabasha, it still takes me back to my question. How is it that we can tell a man, not be mindful, we trying to get back to this feminine side. It's like we know the masculine part. We got this together. We could tell a man, oh, if you don't, let me put that question because that was my next question. But let me put it on the screen. We could tell a man that, okay, if you don't lead me properly, I'm not finna submit. So here's the thing. How do you know what he's supposed to do in his role to lead you properly, but you can't even tell the man, as a feminine part, you can't even tell him what you need. You can't even tell yourself how to be feminine. So how do you tell him his role, but you don't even know your role?
For me,
Mm.
for me when dating, it's about their spiritual foundation. Because it'll to me it'll be signs of leadership rather than being a dictator. Like he'll be able to explain a decision to a choice to me that I'm supposed to submit to. A dictator just tell you because I'm just gonna do it this way.
Right.
A true alpha will be able to say, "Hey, babe, we need to cut back on shopping because we said we want to have a trip, and in order for us to do this trip, we got to go do this, this, and this."
Mm-hmm.
It's a difference between a leader and a dictator, and a lot of men want women to submit to being a dictator. I'm not just gonna do what you say because you the man of the household. Like you, for me, you got to make it make sense because
Everybody,
even when I'm explaining to you what when I say something, I'm able to explain to you what I need and what I want. I'm not just gonna say, "Oh, because I'm your wife, you should do this." No, that don't make sense to me. No,
see,
that don't.
I
I
like
was
Denise. I like Denise's. I feel like her comment is in proper perspective of our feminine side. It's and again, I'm not in a relationship currently, but I've been married, so I see the issues I had with letting him lead. Because I feel like I knew it all, or my way was the better way.
oh yeah, that's the
So,
problem.
so with Denise said she could be dominant, but give her partner the trust that he needs to be a man. That's what I feel like us women need to get to. Because
I don't
okay,
Say that one
understand how that
more time. Say that one
works
more
though.
time.
listen, and I wish Denise could get on the screen. She can't get on the screen, but this is what I would say. This is what I learned in my relationship. We're not gonna say nothing extreme as far as like robbing a bank or something, but let's say my husband wanted to invest in a certain stock. Let's go that way. Me, I'm like, boy, that's the dumbest idea. No, that's not the best way. Like, this is the better way. You know what I'm saying? I'm knowing that's a dumb idea. That's not the best way. I expressed to you that we shouldn't do that and why we shouldn't do it. I feel like I gave you valid points. But as the man of the house, you still like, babe, it's something in my gut. I'm trusting this. I just trust me. Just trust me. Okay, guess what? I'm not finna fight you on this. You want to invest $100? It's not gonna make us go into foreclosure. Okay, baby, go invest that $100. Now, when you lose that $100 or you make a bad decision, I'm not gonna even beat you up over your head. I'm gonna trust that you know what you're doing, and when you lose that, you're gonna come back to me like, okay, dang, yeah, that was kind of a wrong decision. For me, that's me letting you be the head in that situation. That's me trusting you
Oh
that
yeah, that's
you
because
gotta
I ain't gonna
figure
agree
this
with
thing
you
out.
I ain't gonna agree with you all the time. I ain't gonna agree with you all the time. But for me to stay in it, I'm gonna need you to have more good decisions than
Yeah,
jacked up decisions.
of course.
Because we're all human. We're all human. We
Yes.
definitely must allow for mistakes. You know what I'm saying? This
Right.
is my thing. It's about the intention as well. Like, babe, I feel like the intentions is to grow our family. You know what I'm saying? That matters to me. So, but it also matters in the tone and the deliverance, the way that you have conversations, as not
That part.
to, if you're
It's true.
disagreeing with him, not to attack him, if that makes sense. We can
Yes.
disagree without me attacking your leadership or your manhood. Babe, okay, well, if you think this gonna work the best for us, then go by all means go ahead. And then upon it working, you celebrate it and rejoice it. Upon it not working, like, okay, babe, what can we do to see if this is really going to work for us or if it was just a flop? Because we're all human, so we have to allow for we gonna fall. Like it's the way that
Uh,
it's the way that you catch or support after the fall. Because a lot of
I want
times
to
we celebrate, but we don't like actually
I want to interject
allow.
real quick because when we talking about relationships, part of relationships are being with another the opposite sex if you are hetero or with the same sex if you're homosexual. Part of that is growing together. And I think that a lot of, what I'm saying, and because this is a regaining femininity topic, I'm just going to focus more on the women because this men do the same thing. But
Yeah,
when it comes to a lot of women, they don't know how to use their femininity to facilitate a man's masculinity to help him be a better masculine man. And I always go back to this young lady that I had this relationship with, where it wasn't so much the reason why that I decided that I decided that she deserved my love
right.
wasn't
Breathe that
because
whole
she was
life.
a woman or anything like that. It's because the way she exuded her femininity, even though she didn't realize, I don't think she even realized that she was doing it, but she put me in a space where I was comfortable being a masculine man and growing as to be a better masculine man in her presence. And I think that a lot of women don't understand the power that their femininity has when it comes to, facilitating a man's masculine growth. And I think that's why a lot of these brothers out here are so lost, because women, there has to be a balance. A man's masculinity facilitates the growth of a woman's femininity just as much as a woman's femininity facilitates the growth of a man's masculinity. And if you're too masculine as a woman to understand that, you are never going to see the potential of a masculine man, because you don't know how to feed that masculine energy with your feminine energy.
That's
And
good.
unfortunately, a lot of men don't know how to feed that feminine energy with their masculine energy. And that's I think the disconnect comes from. If women understood the power that their femininity had, a lot of women would exude it more.
Yeah, I agree with you on that because I feel like I'll use Fantasia as an example, and when I use this, people usually get it. Once that baby got married and her husband gave her the protection that she needed, you can't stop her right now. But in the same aspect, she supports him so boldly that you can't stop him either. So I get like you got to allow people to grow and change, you know what I'm saying? But
Right.
there are certain things that a man, and this is where I think Muhammad agree with me. There are certain things that a man needs from his woman for him
Facts.
to be as boldly as he can be. If even if he's had his worst day because he made a jacked up decision for the household, her response is going to make or break him.
That part. That part right there.
But in the same aspect, she needs a certain thing from her man. Prime example, women will come home and be like, my day was screwed up. Da, da, da. All I need for you to do is listen. I don't need nothing fixed. I just need for you to listen. And
Right.
so in couples relationship things, I give them a technique. Am I listening or are we fixing? Because for a man, you just made it real simple for him. I just need to listen to you. I ain't got to fix this because now it's a different tone in the room. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And on the same aspect of when he walk into the house, like, babe, I messed this up. Am I listening? Am I listening or are we trying to fix it? Because sometimes he can mess some stuff up and he needs to try to figure out for himself because so he just needs you to listen. And then he may come back and be like with the same situation, but like, okay, babe, I know you listened to me early, but now we're in fix mode. So is you gotta understand, and but you gotta give people the space to understand you. Like, I just need the rent. I don't need you to say nothing else back. Or babe, this was happening. Can we discuss this and come up with a solution?
But
But
here's the question though, as a feminine woman, you know what I'm saying? Are you so secure and strong within your femininity that, because every, doesn't matter who you are, man or female, you have both masculine and feminine energy in you. Now, as a woman, I think, me personally, I feel like as a woman, you should have more feminine energy than you have masculine. That doesn't necessarily mean that that is always the case. And that's the same thing with men. As a man, you should have more masculine energy than you should have feminine. However, as a woman, you know what I'm saying, because of for the sake of this topic, do do you think that women who are feminine in nature, are they secure enough in their femininity to make it comfortable for a man to be vulnerable? Because let's be clear, vulnerability and femininity are almost synonymous with each other. So as a
that's
man,
if you vulnerable with me, that's when you your sexiest to me. It's two things that make a man sexy to me. A man that's walking in his purpose. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
Like he's walking in his purpose. He's doing what he was supposed to do because that's a man at work. That's sexy. But in the same
right,
time, I'm allow you to be your weakest point inside of our comfort.
right, but don't make him feel. Can you
But
not make him
it
feel
it doesn't.
bad about
No,
being
he's no,
vulnerable?
no, because he
Yeah.
need. he needs to be able to come home and be that. So when he leaves the house, he can be the other person. You know what I'm saying? He needs to be able to
Right.
come home and be like, these still work. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
to
Because as a
me,
man,
to
you go
come
out
home,
and you're
show me that.
masculine all
Yeah,
day long. Sometimes you want to let that shit go. You
they
know
should
what I'm
be
saying? And be
able to.
like,
Like, you
yeah,
should not require, and this is both ways. You should not require a person to be on point at all times. If I
right,
can't be your strength, sometimes it's not going to work.
right.
And I should be able to be your strength when you are at down. That doesn't mean you're
But
being less than a man.
a lot of a man's strength come from his peace. And that's when we say that a
You
woman
better
should be a
put it on
man's
the shirt.
peace,
You better
because
put
we
it on
need a lot of our strength comes from our peace. Because when we out there fighting and warring, it's when we recover. That's when we get the best strength. When we have to stop fighting and go and recover. When we at peace, that's when we recover and our muscles get back to being
And see,
100%, so
and
that we can go back out there and fight some more.
that's the one thing I feel like we don't have as the feminine side of us. A lot of us don't even bring peace. A lot of us not even peaceful within ourselves. So it's
Right,
like we don't even bring that feminine side to our God because we are at war with ourselves. So we're not bringing him peace because
right.
we ain't got peace within. So it
But you
kind of
can't give what you don't have, though. But you,
you
so
can't get what you don't
I
have.
said at the time, like, to be in a healthy
That part.
relationship, you gotta first be self-care and self-love yourself. Because if you got it within yourself, it's easier to pour into somebody else. If you got hell within you, you gonna give hell. That's all you got. So
Right.
be mindful of when you're dating to pay attention to them in their house. Is it a house or do they have a home?
Absolutely.
My brother Anthony, I'm sorry I had to touch on this. My brother Anthony said, peace is the protein that our spirit needs. I couldn't have said it any better myself, brother.
Facts.
That's a fact. It's like our spirit is a muscle, and we need that peace, that protein, in order to recover for
So
when we go back to battle. You know what I'm saying?
so
As a woman, you're supposed to provide that protein with your femininity. And a lot of women, I don't know where the disconnect happened and what happened, but a lot of women have lost that art of being that protein for our
society,
spirit.
society. So
I
it
feel
goes
like
to this.
they be waiting to attack. Like, I told
Mm.
you, no, that if you gonna go into that, if you gonna go into that way, you always gonna have a battle.
Right.
Like you said, you got to be a calm in the storm.
That part.
This might sound like a weird question, but I just want to get it out. So why should our men deserve our feminine side? And you see, I got quote unquote deserve. So why do they have to earn our feminine side? Why isn't it just given?
Well, let me just jump in there real quick. And I don't think it's so much that a man should deserve anything other than deserve the honor of being your partner. As a woman, there's no such thing as a man deserving your femininity. That's your femininity that you're giving to the world. It's not a deserving thing. It's your, why do you deserve to provide your femininity to the world? You know, as a woman, it's your femininity to give to the world. Now, who you give the most of it to
Yep,
is up to you. You know what I'm saying?
that's
Who you
it.
decide that you want to give the majority of your energy to. That's up to you to decide. But as
I
a
agree with that.
man, I deserve to get your femininity just as much as you deserve to get my protection from my masculine side.
Yeah, it's
You know,
levels to who gonna get what part of me. Everybody don't have the same access to me.
that
It doesn't
part.
mean that I have less of it. You just don't have the same access to me.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because you shouldn't be giving the same. You shouldn't be giving the same amount of energy to everybody, because then that means everybody's on the same level playing field. So why would a man even try to holler at you? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Why would I waste my time being your only? Because I know you giving that same energy to all these other dudes out
That makes sense.
here. Yeah.
So then this was how does our feminine side get a man to listen and understand us instead of putting a wall up with us? So one of mine I learned through my journey is first of all, don't ask him 5 questions in 2 seconds. Like whatever question you want to handle at that moment, give him that question
Don't ask me
because he
5 questions in 2 seconds.
gonna pick which one he want to answer, and it ain't gonna be the one that you wanted him to answer. So then now you mad.
Nah, because sometimes you can come right back with an answer to a question, and then it be the exact answer that man needs. Can you say that question one more time for me?
So it says, how does our feminine side get a man to listen and understand us without him having to put up a wall with us?
You have
Well,
to. You gotta be.
just
You gotta let him know he's safe. You gotta let him know he's safe when
that
he
part,
comes to you at that particular
right?
point. If you
If he
and
feel
then
comfortable in
don't
that space,
yeah,
he has to
don't
feel
ever
comfortable in that
use
space.
don't ever use his vulnerable whatever in to get back in retaliation, because
That part,
that if I give you my most vulnerable part or my most deepest secrets, and then at some particular point because we getting into it, you use that back at me, you building a wall back up because that ain't gonna work. If you want him to release it, you gotta hold it in in a manner that he feels comfortable in releasing. That's why I said with the women releasing her feminine part, she has to feel comfortable enough with this dude to release it. Like
that part.
that goes both ways. You get more when you make a person feel safe.
That's
That
true.
that's the key word. You have to feel safe in that space
Yeah.
because like I said, that femininity is synonymous with vulnerability. And if you're vulnerable, that means that you're open to being hurt. And if
Yeah.
why would I want to just be hurt all the time? You know what I'm saying?
And see,
Exactly.
So
I believe that you can be feminine all the time, but not be vulnerable.
as
I
a
believe,
woman, and as a woman with majority femininity in you, that's the unfortunately that's the roll of the dice for y'all. But that's why as men we're supposed to be masculine enough to protect y'all from that hurt
Yeah.
because it's y'all that provide us that space to be in there, to be vulnerable and not be hurt. So it would stand to reason that we would give y'all the same respect and be like, you know what, nah, we're gonna protect y'all as women because y'all give us the space to be vulnerable when another man ain't gonna allow us to be that way.
Also on that Charity, I can't stand you right
I
now.
know she got.
Also, also on that component, just from my experience of working with a lot of women, men, I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart. Understand that, and I'm not saying that it's right. I'm by no means I'm saying it's right, but it is what it is. A lot of women are hurt. Matter of fact, this goes for
Mm-hmm.
both. A lot of men and women are hurt. And if you're deciding to get into a relationship with that person, not only do they need to be safe, it needs to be a respect
Right.
that is unspoken of you and their relationship. Don't make excuses of, well, I've been like this all my life. But what I'm telling you right now is
Keyword unspoken. Keyword
unspoken. Yeah,
unspoken.
it's unspoken. Um, don't use the excuse of I've been Brandy, you said it earlier. We can't expect them to change and we not doing it. Don't be like, well, I've been like this all my life, and this how I've been speaking to men all my life. That don't make it right. That just means you've been doing that all your life. And I require something different from you. Now, this is where the flip side goes. If you can't give me that, then don't be mad at me. We ain't gonna be good in our relationship. Two good people can be jacked up in a relationship. I
That's a
respect you
fact.
enough to back away because you are not able to give me what I need. But some people want to hold on to something so bad that they hold on to the toxic stuff that they know ain't good for them. Like, bro, you're not gonna
But
keep
there's other
calling
factors involved in that situation of why
as a
somebody would
as a
hold on to
woman
something.
calling the man like bees and you a bee and you a da, 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 and do like, bro, you can't attack me like that. But he stay in that situation
Yeah,
and expecting something different when she done told you, oh, that's a
yeah,
where I talk, bro. Y'all.
yeah,
But
yeah,
there's a
yeah,
reason. There's always an outside factor to the why somebody would stay in that type of a situation. You know, it ain't necessarily. It could be, you know, this person either is very generous to them, or maybe the sex is just so good that they can't pull themselves away from that toxic shit. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my language. But you know, it's always an outside reason why somebody, you know, when you're dealing with like emotional and mental incompatibility, why somebody would stay there. You know, it
Fear.
ain't. Yeah,
Fear that they're not gonna get what they get
but
right
if
now
you're
from
not,
somebody else.
but if you're not getting the proper emotional and mental stimulation that you need to grow as an individual, what? There's no reason to be afraid. Like, you afraid that you ain't gonna get some good D from the next dude? Like,
Bro, I'm telling you, I've heard people say that I'm gonna put up with this because this right here is good.
let me be 110% with y'all. As a man who's, I'm not gonna say I'm a whore, but I've had my fair share of women. And, I would never, ever in a million years put that above, the mental and emotional stimulation. Because in my opinion, the best sex comes from somebody that you're emotionally and mentally like synced with, because it doesn't matter, you know what I'm saying? Because
And
we
that's what makes
vibe
you a
on
man
a level
and not just
higher
a
than.
male human. That's what
Right.
makes you a man, just not a male human.
And everybody's
Hey,
tolerance
but
level is different. So you gotta,
it took some hurt for me to get to this point, but you know what I'm
bingo.
saying?
I was
But
just
you're
gonna say that.
Everybody,
acknowledging that. But you acknowledging that, like the
yeah,
hurt you learned from it. A lot of people are not acknowledging, and I said it earlier. Like we see a lot of the symptoms from something that hurt a person, and people not acknowledging. Like, yeah, this toxic thing that I'm doing is from this hurt because they all to acknowledge that you have been hurt means that you're going to be attacked for your masculinity. To me, that does not mean that. To me, that makes for you to admit that you've been hurt. To me, that's a stronger man. For you to live and
thank
not
you.
admit, that makes you a male human to me.
Well, I mean, a lot of men just haven't learned to be vulnerable in that space. You know what I'm saying?
So
Like, that's why I was like,
I'm not gonna automatically consider you a man because of a certain age.
Yeah, it's a
yeah,
learning
nah,
curve. It's a learning
yeah,
Yeah.
curve. But I like how men like you speaking out on that. You never know what other man has dealt with that, and seeing
right,
a man like you speak out on that, it can make them be like, you know what, you're right. Like I'm worth some too. Like why do I got to put up with that just because the sex good? No, it's
exactly. Because
So,
trust me, there's plenty of women out there with good sex,
yeah,
just like there's
it's
plenty of men out there with good sex. It's just that some of us don't know how to understand, like, hey, this ain't right for me. Let me move on. Just
At
because the
40,
so
sex
at
is good, shit.
45, at
Sometimes,
45,
some,
I done had enough sex that ain't if everything else ain't good,
some
I'm not standing for the sex. Like
that part, because
I
I need
need mental
so much
stimulation
more.
first.
Yeah, I need so
that
much more.
part,
Bro. They got these
trust me.
rolls and they got stuff I could plug up. Like that ain't
Whoa,
it.
whoa,
So
whoa,
guys,
whoa! I don't know
we got about 8 minutes. If you got any comments or questions, anybody want to jump back on the screen, let me know. I'm gonna ask my last question. And then if the guests got a question, they're gonna
Yeah,
ask that and
I got a
close
couple of
out.
questions that I ain't touched on, so
Okay.
we can keep it going.
Well, let me get this one out real quick, and then we just gonna go to y'all questions or the viewers' questions, and then we'll close out. But so this is a kind of do you agree or do you not agree type of question. It says letting him make mistakes and fixing them instead of you overpowering him is a big part of our femininity.
Nah, I don't even as
So, for instance,
But we
don't
said
tell him.
yeah.
said
Let me
that
just go
earlier.
ahead and say it like this:
Said that
if a
earlier. You gotta
person
allow
makes a
people to make
mistake,
mistakes. Yeah, you gotta allow
yeah,
people to make mistakes. Is how you respond to the mistakes that will
that
make
part,
or break him. If you gonna come to
right?
him instead of, hey babe, so like it's the tone
It
of the
will work if you get it my way type deal. Yeah,
You
yeah.
have to allow a man to learn from his own mistakes.
yeah.
That's the point. Like,
That's
at
what
the
I
end
mean.
of the day, as a masculine man, and this is coming from a masculine man, if you don't allow me to learn from my own mistakes, because just because you recognizing it's a mistake doesn't mean that he ain't recognizing that it's a
Yeah,
mistake. I'm sure he already recognized it. So to point that crap out to him is not going to help. You need to allow him to learn from that mistake. Now, if he ain't learning from that mistake, it's probably time for you to jump ship, find you a whole new
That
vessel
part.
to get
As
on.
you say,
You know what I'm
that
saying?
part.
Yeah,
That part.
but if he,
You gotta
so you have to give him the
yeah.
space to learn from that
As a
mistake.
woman, for me, if I see him trying to learn, it's different than he keep hitting his head on a brick wall. You got to
That
step
part.
back and see, well, is he learning from something or is he gonna keep repeating the same thing and we gonna be doomed? So you
Right.
gotta sit back and watch.
yeah. So
Yeah.
go ahead with your couple of questions before we close out.
All right, so my first question, I don't know, we might have already touched on this, and because I'm a firm believer that and this is no knock to women, but I do feel like that women are subconsciously selfish in their nature, and that doesn't mean it's a negative thing. It's just how y'all are wired to be, because as women, y'all are supposed to be protected and loved and honored and cherished. So it's natural for y'all to be subconsciously selfish in your nature. So one of my questions was, do you think that it's the hunger for women's for the attention from the masculine energy and that inadvertent selfishness that that is causing this rise of more masculinity within women?
I don't even understand what you just asked.
Right. Say that a little slower one more time.
Is do you think that this hunger for attention and this inadvertent and this subconscious selfishness that you guys have, because regardless, I believe that you women are selfish. Maybe y'all don't see it, but y'all are selfish, and I'm not saying that as a negative thing. But do you think that because of that, there's a rise in masculinity in women? Oh wow, that was a zinger, I guess.
I feel I must be missing like something. Okay, so I am selfish to a point, but I'm also selfless. I admit to both of them. Um, so I don't know how to answer that question because I admit like I don't want my uh for like okay, so if I'm married, I don't want my husband having certain intimate situations with other women. I'm selfish about that. But I'm
Mm,
also selfless because I'm going to give as much as I can with the intent for you to grow and for me to grow.
right.
So I don't think
Now,
that's going to increase my masculinity.
I guess I mean maybe I need to clarify. Now, there's like this huge feminist movement and women feeling like they don't need a man because they're independent, and this and that, and the third. And at the end of the day, I do believe that that's just a cry for attention from men in a way. You know what I'm saying? And that's where that question stems from because there's no other reason why a woman would want to go out and be the breadwinner when men are already being that. You know what I'm
So
saying? Men are already
I think it's
designed and have that
I think it's a
mentality to be that way.
misconception. I think it's a misconception. Like I have a problem with the word equality now. And I have a problem with that word because Angela Davis spoke to my agency this week and she made it very clear. I don't want to be equal to a man, but
Shout out to Angela Davis.
do want to be Professor Davis. Let me correct myself. I do want
Mm,
to be treated fairly as a woman. I don't want to be equal to a man, but I do want to be treated fairly for who I am. Don't
mm,
say that because I'm a woman, if we're doing the same job, that because you're a man, that you're doing a better job than me.
mm.
So I don't want to be
Okay.
equal to you. I want to be treated fairly for who I am.
Okay. Oh, and my second question: how do you feel, or what is your take on this whole? Because I had a whole conversation regarding this. Trans women saying that they are women, like they are actually women. How do you feel about that?
I don't like to touch that. I don't like to get into, especially for my platform,
Right, right, right.
those type of questions. I kind of like to stay away from. I don't want to attack anybody's what should I say?
Lifestyle.
Personal beliefs.
I
Yeah,
don't
Lifestyle.
want to
personal.
attack, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to attack the lifestyle. It's for empowering, so I kind of want to stay away from that. Like we can like me and you could talk separately about that. And I can give you my personal views, but for the platform purposes, I kind of want to stay away from that.
Right.
I'm just gonna generally say whatever you're born, whatever God created you to be, your original DNA, that's what you are. It doesn't matter how much money you use to change that. You are originally who God designed you to be. So that's as much as of a convert or a comment I'm gonna make on that situation.
I
Um,
agree.
yeah. So, ooh, Denise, I can't put you on the screen though. She say she'll touch it. I can't put you on the screen.
So I work in my the community, the demographics that I work in. I deal with a lot of transgender people. Um, it's not for me to judge you. Period. Point
Mm,
blank. Um, because there are things about me that God created that I be battling with. Like, you made me like this? Like, really, bro? So I don't, if that's who, to be respectful, how do you want to identify? Okay, is that how you want
Right.
to identify? This is how I'm going to respect you, and I'm going to respect you in this certain manner. It's not for me to judge you.
Right. Well, the reason why I made that question is because there was this huge conversation I had on Twitter where a lot of transgender women were saying that they were women, and they were basically the same as women who were born with vaginas and reproductive organs. And I made the argument that while I'm not no knock to their femininity, but they are not actually women. They are transgender women. There's a difference. And so they was, I guess there's a line that's blurred there where they don't believe that there should be a line there.
Yeah,
And
that's why
so
I just try not to touch it because whoever
yeah,
you identify yourself as, that's what you identify as. I can't necessarily persuade you away from that, but
right,
at the same time, I'm gonna stand on what I'm standing on. Whatever God created you, predestined you to be, whatever
right,
organs He put in you from birth, whatever DNA, whatever chromosomes He put in you, that's who you are. Now, if you try to use science and your money or whatever to deter from that, then that's totally a personal decision as well. But me and my beliefs, I would choose not to engage in that conversation with you as if you are a woman because we weren't born the same, point blank
right,
period. So I would
exactly.
just, you'll have to go find somebody else who is interested in having that conversation with you. I'm just not the one. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
feel you. I feel you. I feel you. I
I
feel
don't
you.
want to disrespect anybody's beliefs or, gender or preference or whatever. But at the same time, you also can't make me stand up with you and say, yeah, you are what you aren't, at the
Right,
same time. So
right.
before we
That's
close
that's
out, guys, if you got any more questions or anything, just put that in because it is 5, it ends at 5. So I want to go on and get us out of here. But I would like, guys, if you can, those that are still on here, if you can please on your timeline, just kind of quote something from here or just give a review and then tag my business page, tag the speakers. I would really appreciate that, guys. I would thank you, if you can do that. Yeah, Denise, that's a tough one. I don't know. That's a line I haven't really wanted to cross. So
my
any more questions?
apologies
No,
for
you good.
opening that
No,
door.
and you're good because I know being in the brand that me and Tabasha is in, we deal with people, strictly with people and their lifestyle. So that is something I knew I would have to tackle eventually.
Right,
But that's why I say I have the boundary. Now, my platform is certain things, politics, religion, different things I personally will not touch on my platform. But I'll just kindly tell people, if you want to touch that topic, though, you definitely got to find a platform who don't mind speaking on it, because conquering relationships is not going to engage in that conversation. So,
right. True, true. I just like I had a long, drawn out conversation on Twitter about it. I was like, this will be a good thing to bring up as far as like femininity, because at the end of the day, in order for you as a man to identify as a woman, there has to be a certain level of femininity within you. You know what I'm saying? For you to even have that
But some
notion in your
people, some
mind.
people even relate femininity to the amount of estrogen and testosterone
yeah.
within a person's
Right.
body. So, like, there are so many different variables. Like, when you ask for the definition, is like I say, it's per what that person thinks. Like,
Mm,
like I said, I know some women. I know, I know some females who were born women who have more masculine testosterone than some males who are born men.
right.
And I think that's different. I kind of think that's different. I kind of think that's different from someone who's actually just literally the opposite sex, but they're using, like I say, science or any other thing to try to turn them into something else. I kind of think that's
Right.
a different line drawn there.
But does that cause that woman to be less feminine because she has more testosterone?
In my opinion, no. I mean, well,
Hey,
because
Denise
because
said go
there's
live.
a
She gonna
balance.
go.
There's always going to be a balance. So
Denise said go live, Muhammad. She said go live. She'll go. She'll discuss it with you.
Yeah, I
Listen,
don't.
I don't, I
That's
don't.
some. That's some.
I might go
I
live
just.
on Instagram, but I mean, as far as Facebook, nah.
On Instagram. His Instagram is
Yeah,
in the caption too if y'all want to follow it.
misguided underscore intuition 89. So holla at me. I
Oh,
appreciate the
it's Intuition
follows.
89. I don't think I got the 89 on there. I add it later.
Yeah, it's underscore intuition 89.
So if there's no more questions, comments, or anything, guys, guest speakers, we're gonna go ahead and head out. Again, guys, leave a
Yeah.
review, please, on your timeline. Tag us, tag my business page. I would greatly
Share
appreciate
it,
that.
share it, share it
Oh,
to
they
your
can't
peoples. Let
share
them
this.
know they gotta pay to see that there though.
Yeah.
You know, don't be no
Yeah.
cheapskate.
So
Support the
anybody,
movement.
yeah. So anybody that do want to see this, I will be selling it later. You know, still for the same $10. Probably later on this year, I'll discount it. But once they buy this or want to be in this, they'll send their and then I'll add them to this group because it's not shareable at all. So yeah.
That part. Hey,
Well,
let your
thank you guys.
peoples know if they too broke, you know what I'm saying, I might throw them a little $10 hullabaloo, you know, as long as they at least share it, you know, show some love. You
Yeah,
know, don't be
Denise,
a hater.
that's kind of how I feel too. That's why I just try not to get into that because I don't think he make mistakes. I think humans just kind of it's our lust. I think it's a part of our lust thing. So it's kind of like we want something, that's what we want to be. We try to make it be something that we weren't originally designed to be. So that's kind of where I stand with the God makes no mistakes.
Maybe I
Um,
will go live. This is an interesting topic.
you
I'm
gonna go
telling
live on
you.
Instagram or Facebook? Let us know because
It'll
yeah,
probably be Instagram, you know, or maybe we just have a discussion on Twitter about it.
well,
Because
y'all
that's
follow
where
him on
usually I get
Instagram
into it.
because you'll have to
Follow
tag
me
us.
on Twitter. You know, Twitter be live, man. I be getting into so many conversations, it be out of control, man. People be talking all kind of crap to me. I
All
don't
right,
care.
guys. So you finish enjoying your Saturday. I'm about to get out this house. I'm ready. So I will talk to you
Appreciate.
guys later, and thank you guys for chiming in
Yeah,
and attending the event. See ya.
yeah, 100.
Say we lit.